to the Nightcap. Welcome on. This is just an open platform where we give people the space to talk about marriages, relationships, singleness, healing from past hurts, dating, co-parenting. We talk about all of that. So yeah, we're going to talk about the difference between loving somebody and being in love with them. We're going to start off with that because I want to hear what your answer is.
That's a good question. That's a really good
I
question.
really want to know what your answer is as I eat this egg roll off the camera.
To me, I feel like there is a huge difference with being in love with someone and having love for somebody. You can have love for anybody, your friends, family, loving your enemies, you know what I'm saying? You can show love and give love to any and everybody. But to be in love with someone, I feel like that comes from a deeper place. That's when you and that person share a deep connection. You're totally committed and invested in that person. The love that you give, it comes from a more genuine space, not just everyday love that you would show, to just like anybody.
So like when you say I love you, that's not the same as saying I'm in love with you.
Well, no, because you would tell if somebody says I love you, you can say I love you back. The meanings can be different depending on the connection and the vibe. If we're just everyday people, friends or whatever, and you tell your friends, man, I love you too, that's it. It's just, you know what I'm saying, I have a deep reverence for that person, like, you know what I'm saying, like, that person be cool, I would do anything for that person, whatever, like, that's a friend of mine. But for us,
you be telling your friends you love
first
them?
of all,
like you be telling your friends you love them.
What I'm saying is, when you're in love with somebody and you tell that person, I love you, and you know what I'm saying, you say it back, it comes from a deeper place and it has a deeper meaning because I will go out my way for you compared to, how I would for somebody else. Just, not just saying a regular person, but just anybody outside of you're in a relationship with. You know what I'm saying? I feel like, you can have that love for that person. But it's the difference to have love for somebody and to be in love.
User says he's right.
You can have love for, a common stranger, like I said, family, friends, you know what I'm saying? Even somebody you don't like, I'm going to love my enemies in spite of. But when you're in love with somebody, that's a whole deeper meaning.
Right. So OG says there's a brotherly love and a sisterly love. There's that love. But then there's being in love with someone.
Exactly.
Which, we definitely agree with that.
Exactly.
There's a lot of yeses. I agree with him. Babe, they on your side tonight, and I love it. When you're in love, that's that in spite of love, because we know love doesn't hurt.
Exactly. Very true, man.
Yes.
Very true. Very true. And I feel like too, with that whole in love or having love, it's all about a person's perception too. Each person's meaning of love is different. So that comes again back when we were talking in our earlier lives, knowing the person that you're with. You can tell by the way a person tells you that they love you, they'll show it. Words is just one thing, but when you put actions behind that, you can tell the difference between having love and being in love with somebody.
So what type of action, like what would that look like? Like for us women, because y'all see what I'm married to, right? He is very, somebody said wisdom, bro. He is very wise.
Appreciate it.
And I'm so lucky to have him as my husband, and I'm so glad. But what would that look like? Because, for women, we take, this guy complimented me, and some women just take that as, he must really like me because he gave me a compliment. When in actuality, that's really not what that is. Or, he brought me flowers, or he takes me out every day. Like, what does that love, I love you versus I'm in love with you, like look like for a woman, so we would know how to tell the difference?
So that comes with it, and that's kind of hard to decipher because it's so easy for women, especially if you're coming from dealing with so many issues with men, and you find somebody who you're genuinely attracted to, and they're doing the sweet nothings and telling you, how beautiful you are, buying you gifts, different things like that. It may come off like, this person really, really loves me. But it's the it's the other things that, you know what I'm saying, the how he treats you when you're angry,
Right.
or how he treats you when he's mad, or when y'all at odds with each other.
Right.
You can tell in that moment how much a person is in love with you. How a man takes his time to listen to you and the things that you say, you know what I'm saying, your hurts, your likes, your dislikes, and how
Right.
he acts on them, the different dates that he plans. You can tell. If you mention to the guy like, hey, you know, I like walks in the park, I like doing picnics and things like that, and he plans a picnic type date, he took the time to actually think about and listen to what you like, and not just do a traditional, hey, I'm gonna take you out to dinner and such and such. No, I'm gonna take her to a place where she likes and plan something that she enjoys. So
Right. So let me
it's a lot
stop
of
you
different
right
little
there,
things that
because
you can pay attention to.
OG said that's a setup, because he's going to do everything you want him to do and to get what he wants. So I want to stop you right there, because what's the difference between, like, if I tell a guy, oh, I like walks on the park, or I like to go to the beach, how do I know you're not just taking me to the park or beach to get what you want? Or how do I know you genuinely are trying to build a relationship with me? Like, how do women tell? Well, not me, because we're married. So you know what I like and want. But for a woman,
Again,
y'all see how I clarified that?
and
But anyway,
again-
for a woman, how would you tell the difference?
And again, that boils all back down to a man's actions, the way he talks, the way he handles and carries himself on those dates. You can tell when a man is on a date and is getting towards the end, and he's like, all right, what you about to do? You want to come back to my place? Can I come back to yours? All that stuff on the first dates, the body language, the different things he talks about or whatever. You know, you can tell what a guy is after if he's genuinely pursuing you, or he only has, you know what I'm saying, one thing in mind.
Right. OG, you might need to come up in this box now, because y'all saying the same thing. So, you know, we like to hear from different people.
See,
We
there
love
you
the
go.
comments.
Actions and thoughts, you know what I'm
Right.
saying?
All of the men in here on the same page. So, and that's what I was getting at, because a lot of women think that just because a man is doing every single thing, you know what I'm saying, that you want him to, or not want, but you tell him to do. Like, if you tell a man every single thing up front, I feel like he's going to do those things to get with you if his actions aren't genuine. So that's why for me, like, I don't know if you noticed when we met, I didn't tell you every single thing I liked about me or about my past, or when you asked me what kind of man I'm looking for, like, I didn't tell you that, because I want to see what kind of man you are. Like, don't mold yourself into this image of a man that I'm telling you that's what I like, and then I come, you know, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, and now you changing it up into your true self, because that's not who you are. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't think there's anything wrong with the woman telling everything up front, because if a man is truly, genuinely interested in getting to know that woman, once she tells everything up front and he's not using that to try to get what he wants, you know what I'm saying, she'll see that. Again, it goes back to those actions. That man will pursue further, and he will use the different things that he's been told to, like, you know, like I said, come up with different date ideas to try to
Right.
learn more. He may open up more about himself. You will know. So if a woman straight out the gate tells everything that she's, you know, like, don't like, what she's into, all that kind of stuff, and the man is doing that and she's not putting out, and the man is still there trying to get to know her, that lets you know right then, you know, this man ain't after one thing. Like, he's actively trying to pursue me. Because a man will use those tools. If you, as much rope as you give a man, I promise you, he gonna keep taking it.
Right.
So,
It takes real woman to understand the level of wisdom. Yeah, it does. And no one with good intentions will give you everything up front. That's true. And you know what? I think it's hard, like, in the dating world now, because some women don't know how to tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? About a guy with good intentions, and one who's just trying to come in and get in where he fits in. Because, you know, for women, you have to be past that point of desperation too, like, where you're just dating to say that you have a man. Like, you have to be intentional with it. Like, hey, I'm in a good place in my life. I'm healthy, I'm healed, I'm whole, and now I'm ready to move forward. And I have that discernment to know, okay, I know what you bringing up front, you know, before you come to me. So I think that's important as well. Thank you. OG, come on up here. No, I feel like you and my husband are on the same page. But yeah, how you doing, OG?
Well, first,
Turn that down, babe, so I can hear.
I want to say good evening, to both of you,
Good
and
evening.
thank you for inviting me into your box. Now, being that I'm the oldest person in the room, and I know I'm the oldest person in the room because I owe Moses money,
Oh yeah.
so I know I'm the oldest person in the room. When I was a young man, you knew who your wife was going to be because in order for me to go on a date with you, I had to meet your parents. There
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
was no giving you no phone number. You call me. I had to physically come sit at your house with your mother and your father and explain to them why I wanted to take their daughter out.
Yes.
All right. My wife was my first girlfriend because that's how we was raised. You put a woman, I was raised, you treat all women as queens
Mm-hmm.
until they show you that they're not. All right. So we had a great expectations to be with a queen. And see, what a lot of people don't understand, and I'm not being judgmental, I'm just speaking of the difference in the time.
Mm-hmm.
Sex was a reward for marriage. It was never intended to be anything except that. But
Mm-hmm.
now we have put the horse in front of the cart, and men are manipulative. I'm speaking as a man. I know what I'm talking about.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, men are manipulative. They're gonna do and say whatever they have to do or whatever they gotta say to get what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And then after they get what they want, you're gonna meet this person and you're gonna be like, whoa, whoa, who is you?
All right.
You
Right.
Right.
know, and see, men's know, and excuse me, sis, this is just how I describe it because I don't know any other way to describe it. So don't mistake my love. You know,
Speak your truth.
men,
Thank.
men.
I'm like, thank you for leading with that.
Well, hey, I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
trying to educate. You know,
Yeah.
men have come to the conclusion
Mm-hmm.
that women got this disease known as I can change him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
men are gonna show you who you are. Who we gonna show you what you looking for us to be to get what we want. And
Mm-hmm.
then 6 months down the line, when you find out we're not that guy you thought we were, you go right into, well, I can change him. He ain't gonna change.
Right.
If he's a dog today, he gonna be a dog tomorrow. If
Absolutely.
he's a loving man today, he's gonna be a loving man tomorrow. And
Right.
see, people to understand, love do not hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Love does not hurt. Love is in spite of. My brother ain't perfect. He makes mistakes. He do things that piss you off. But
Mm-hmm.
love comes in and in spite of what he's done and how he didn't do something, you
Right.
forget because love conquers all. When you it burns me up when I hear about a man putting his hand on a woman. That's
Me
not love. Love
definitely.
don't hurt. It don't hurt. Love don't know how to hurt. Jesus Christ went to die for our sins in pure love.
Mm-hmm.
He took the pain that we don't have to feel the pain
Mm-hmm.
because love is pure. If
Right.
I you, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm looking for a helpmate. Not somebody for me to walk in front of, not for me to walk behind somebody, but somebody that's gonna walk by my side.
Yep.
Yeah.
My,
I agree.
my wife died 16 years ago.
Mm.
No, I'm sorry. My wife died 21 years ago.
Mm.
But see, I don't date because I'm attracted to the very thing I don't want. You know, I want somebody that's going to be committed, that's looking for somebody that's going to stand next to them. And unfortunately, my brother, these sisters today, they are they worse than the brothers are.
Yeah.
They tell you what you want to hear just so they can hook you in the relationship that they not gonna be faithful in. They
Right.
somebody that's gonna provide for them and take care of them. And I'm gonna cook for you, but I'm gonna go on out here and I'm gonna be me. Bruh,
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be by myself. I've been single for 20 years, bruh, and I don't have no problem. All my friends are female. If I want to go to the show, I call one of them up. Hey, let's go to the show. If I
Right.
want to concert, I call one of them up and let's go to the con. But see, I don't need a woman to complete me. I know who I am,
Right.
and I'm single than be unhappy.
That's
Yes.
real.
OG, you know what? That's real. You didn't even have to give a disclaimer for that because we agree with you one
One
hundred
hundred
percent.
percent, man.
And
Definitely.
I'm glad you said that because we talk about that a lot. We've been doing these nightcaps now for a month. I can't believe it's been this is our fourth week. And so we talk about that a lot. Like it's best to just remain single. You don't want to have somebody just say you have somebody. That's we're past those days.
Definitely.
If we're gonna date, we're gonna do it with a purpose. Or like you said, have friends that you can go kick it with. But other than that, like, don't be out here just giving it up. It's too much going around, too many diseases, all of that, or just wasting people's time. Like we should be off of those levels by now. By the age that we're on, and I don't know how old everybody is on the live, but I'm like, I tell my friends by this age, if the guy is still playing games like that, you need to move on because he should be out of those game playing days by this age by now. I know people have
Well,
to live their lives or whatever they doing, but in the 30s, 40s, you need to be out of that stage and be moving on, growing up.
I live in a senior apartment building.
Mm-hmm.
I got grown ass, excuse my French, but I got grown old men walking around here with their pants sagging. You
Mm.
know, that bothers me. And see, I look at it like this, my brother. We on Ferris wheels.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Supposed to learn a lesson. When we learn that lesson, we move to the next Ferris wheel. We got grown grandfathers still on Ferris wheel 342 when they supposed to be on 10,763, but they down there because they didn't learn something. And
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't learn it, they stuck right there. That's why you got 70-year-old men walking around wearing with their pants sagging, and it, that bothers me as much as a man putting his hand on a woman. To me, those are on the same level, because we're supposed to be examples for our young brothers and our young sisters. We're not trying to be their friends. And what
Right.
I mean by being their friends, too many young couples are bringing up their children and they want to be their children's friends instead of being the child's parent. You know, I can't teach you nothing if I'm trying to kick it with your homies and sit around and drink with you and everything, and then want you to respect me when I try to tell you something.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, that can't work.
Right. And Cynthia says, that's why I stay at home. I've been single 5 years. And Cynthia, girl, if you need to stay single another 5 years, do
Do
that.
that.
Like,
Do that.
there's too many people out here settling. I've settled. So that's
So have
why,
I. So have I.
like
So
both of us have.
yeah.
So we know what that's like. So don't just be out here just to have somebody. When we
Yeah.
met, we did a purpose. Like I made sure he was into me and vice versa. Like it wasn't no games. It wasn't no talking about sex when we first met. It wasn't none of that. That came he didn't bring it up. That came I was comfortable talking about it. And so, if that's the first thing they talking about, most people are as soon as you meet, it's when we gonna pick up or when we gonna Netflix and chill. No, when we going out on a date, when we going and the date don't have to cost money like we talked
Right.
about before. When we going to the park, let's talk, let's get to know each other. We not you want me to get something that's priceless for what? Over some conversation? No. Like OG said, that don't come. That's the prize for you investing and proposing and putting a ring on it. That's the prize for that. That's not, I'm gonna just give it to you because you here and I want some. That's how you get caught up out here, you know?
Because people don't realize soul ties and stuff is real, man. You can lay down with somebody, and get connected and realize me wondering why I can't get this person out of my life, why this person's still sticking around, why this person always causing me hell, because y'all done intertwined. Now y'all souls connected.
Right.
So
And you got to realize there are some people that you meet that's supposed to be in your life for a season.
Yes.
Meaning it's something. Everything in life happens for a reason. Everything, bad relationships as well as good relationships. Bad relationships is to show you what you don't want.
Right.
Relationship for you to set a standard of what you're not gonna put up any less than. But we ain't perfect. It's a fight every day, bro. You love that woman next to you like your own self, but
absolutely,
it's a everyday fight, bro. We
every
got we forget. The Bible tells us there's gonna be good days as well as bad days. That's a promise. We
mm-hmm,
gonna have bad days, but bro, you gotta realize that bad is only a season. It's
mm-hmm,
only here for a little while. If we went mountaintop to mountaintop, we could never appreciate who you sit next to. Because if you don't go up that mountain, if you ain't in that valley, you can't appreciate what you just came out of. And
absolutely,
you know what not to get yourself back into again. But we got to go down in the valley so that we can learn what we don't want to do in a
Right.
relationship.
Right. And OG, since we have you up here and you share a little bit of your story, that you've been widowed for 21 years, which, our hearts go out to you because I know that
absolutely,
can't be easy, especially if it's somebody that you were in love with and you loved, and you were doing, so I know that can't be easy. But how is it going from married and having that person to going back to singleness? Like how is that journey, if you
It's
don't mind talking about?
a rough journey. It is a rough journey because I still have the morals and the virtues that I had when I was a young man, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard. I'm not saying they ain't out there, but you unfortunately you run into more than what you don't want instead of running into what you looking for, and women are just as bad as men, the people, women, and I'm speaking from personal experiences.
Mm-hmm.
mm-hmm,
Women will tell you what you want to hear just so they can get you in a place of opportunity.
Hmm.
They tell you, if you love me, you'll do this. If you love me, you'll do that. If you love me, well, if I love you, I'm going to make sure that I can do everything that I can for you. But until you become my wife, you're not my responsibility. You know, if I see you in need, I'm going to help you just because of the person that I am. But you're not my wife, so you're not my responsibility. We
Right.
don't understand what's the difference between my boyfriend and my husband, and
Right.
big difference. You know, women want men to act like husbands, but they don't want to get a ring.
mm-hmm,
If you want all these things and you want all of this, put a ring on it.
Mm-hmm.
Marriage is not for a season, it's for life, you
right,
know. And if the relationship becomes to a point where it's too volatile that it can't work, God gives you a way out. You know, that's why he told you, if he don't want you to suffer, he wants you to have life and life to its fullest. And hopefully you can find somebody that you can look over and say, you know what, I just love you. You know, that
Right.
means a lot to people. Just to say people been married 30, 40 years and they ain't told they mate since ever that they love them.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a difference in your life by just saying those words. It
yeah,
makes a difference. Your head is up higher, your spirit is on fire. You feel so much better, and you be like, "Ooh, wait till you get home this evening." That's
Right.
that's love. That's
Yeah,
not that pre-marriage love. That's that love that God meant for a woman and a man to have.
that's very true. Cause it's things now. Like I tell her that all the time. Um, you can hear certain things from any and everybody. They tell you how proud of you they are and different things like that. But when I hear her tell me like how much she loves me or how she sees what I'm doing and I'm proud of you, just like when she says those little things, I promise you, I can go run through a wall.
Yes, sir. Yes,
I
sir.
get out here and fly, and I tell her that all the time. It's
Yes.
it's the smallest little things that she say that just it motivates me and pushes me even more. And she don't even realize it. She's like, "Babe, all I said was it doesn't matter." I can hear that from any and everybody, but when it comes
It's
to her,
much more coming from
much
your
deeper,
spouse.
much deeper.
Yes, yes. Everybody I make eye contact with, I speak to, because you never know what that person is going through.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
true.
just by saying hi could change a whole person's outlook in their life, and you have no idea what you've done. You just took the time and said, "Hey, how you doing today?" You know,
Right.
I understand that. I've been there. I've been at rock bottom where somebody just saying, "Hey, bro, how you doing today?" made a difference in my life. So if it made a difference in my life, I'm gonna do it to you because it might make a difference in your life. You know,
Exactly.
Absolutely.
we don't know what God's plan is for us in our lives. We know He got a plan. He says, "Love." We supposed to love each other as we love ourselves. I
Mhm.
ain't cutting me. I ain't shooting me, and I ain't bringing no harm to me. So then, why should I do it to you?
Right. Right. And we agree with what you said, Mark. Thank you for that. You never get all you desire out the gate. Everything that's worth it requires a little patience, and that's true, Mark. We agree. I want you to think we didn't see your comment. We see our comments. We just don't want to interrupt. But yeah, I'm glad you said that because OG. Another thing we talked about is the problem is because the Bible does tell us to love God with all our heart. Like we got that. If you love God with all your heart, you're supposed to love your neighbor as yourself. But the problem is some people don't love themselves. Some
Yeah,
people don't know how to love themselves. So that impacts how they love other people. So if I don't respect myself or have love for myself, ain't no way I can respect and have love for him. So too many broken people are also trying to be in relationships. Like it's important, it's imperative that we are healed and whole. Like you said, we're not talking about 50-50 coming together. You need to
Hmm.
be a whole person and a whole person coming together in order to fulfill the purpose of your marriage. Because we're not out here either just getting married just to be married. We're married because we have a purpose to fulfill together. So I think that once that's truly understood, we can get back, like you said, the basics of why, first of all, marriage was intended for, because it's not just for us to get together and have sex.
no,
Like we can't, like we gonna get older, so that ain't gonna be what holds us together the whole time. But we're out here fulfilling a purpose together. What is that? Like for us, we're passionate about what we talk about. Like this nightcap is something we do because it's what we're passionate about. Building a platform to discuss healthy marriages, healthy relationships, how to live when you're in singleness. Like that's something we both are passionate about, and what we feel God brought us together to do. And so we do that through how our marriage is. We live out of our marriage. So we're not on here displaying one thing to y'all, and when we turn the camera off, we cussing each other out and all that other stuff.
Nah,
The
what
way
you
that
see right here,
the way we're living on the front of the live is how we live outside of the live.
each
I'm
and
not
every
on
day.
here talking more than I talk to my husband. It's about, your marriage is your family. That's where it starts, at home. Love starts in the house, and then
yeah,
it's spread out the house. So I
and,
think that's gotten lost.
and
Yes.
and see, for everybody that is looking at you, there's 10 other people you don't know that's watching you, and
Mhm.
they watching you because they can't wait for you to make a mistake so they can judge you. Oh,
Exactly.
you're supposed to be saved. You're supposed to be in love. You're supposed to be married, and you look at how you carrying on out here. So
Hmm.
even though you living together and you living for each other and you showing love, when you walk out that door, you showing love too,
Mm,
because you're showing that don't nobody know what's happening in your house. You know, when you have problems, you don't take them problems outside. That's an
right.
inside business. But when you go outside, you show love for your wife and your husband, because that's the person that's going to be with you in spite of the situation. I tell everybody, they say, what's the definition of love? Love is in spite of.
Mm-hmm.
In spite of how mad you might make me, I love you, and we gonna see this through. Because
Exactly.
I lack the understanding of what I need to do to make you happier, I'm gonna hang on in here, and eventually I'm gonna fix that. But I gotta be willing to go through the fire. You know,
Right.
I gotta be. I'm not looking for you to be perfect. I don't want you to look for me to be perfect, because the only perfect person that was here, we killed him. So perfection is a big thing. That a big thing, but we strive for perfection. We
Right.
strive to be that man that you want. We try. We strive to be the woman that that he wants. We might not ever meet that point, but that's the goal.
Right. That's so true. That's Yeah, we agree, Mark. That's true. It like that's what y'all been saying. It starts at home. It starts at home and then it goes outside. Mr. OG, how long were you married before your wife passed away?
27 years.
27 years. So for those of y'all who just joined us or haven't been on time, we have what's your name, Mr. OG? We're calling you OG. I like OG because you right. You the OG on the live. So
Right.
we have much respect and much love for
OG,
you
triple
and
OG.
we appreciate
My
coming on with us.
name is Sydney. Uh,
Sydney. So
every, everybody that knows me calls me Sid. You know,
Sid. All
but
right, so Mr. Sid, he came up in the box with us because y'all know every time we're on, we have people come up and he was married for 27 years. His wife passed away. He said it was 21 years. And he's been single, y'all. So for those of y'all who've been single 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, it can happen. 21 years it can happen, but he has experienced that love before in that marriage before. So I know for a lot of you, you are saying, it's a difference because he's been married before. Like I get that, but I say that to say, there is a space for you to enjoy yourself in your time of singleness now, even if you've never been married. There's this space for that. So that's just to say, don't give up hope just because you feel like you've been single 5, 6, 7, 8 years. God can still bring you somebody tomorrow, and you can end up married here. You never know. So
Mm-hmm.
don't lose that hope. Don't give up on yourself. Think it's not gonna happen. Anything can
Yeah.
see, I've learned to trust in God. The
happen.
We have not because we ask not. He also tells us we can have the desire of our heart. He didn't say the desires of our needs. He said the desires of our heart. So that
Right.
means if you want to be married and you live in a life that is pleasing to God, He gonna send you that mate. It might not be today, it might not be next year, it might not be 5 years from now, but eventually He gonna send you that mate, because everything happens for a reason. A lot of reasons that a lot of my brothers and sisters is going through turmoil, because they have to get that experience of what they don't want in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And he could be the biggest dog on the face of the earth, but he still can learn and he still can change.
Absolutely.
He may
Right.
be the biggest money spender in the world, but she still can change. And see, I don't care what nobody says, love conquers all.
It
Right.
will.
Love somebody, you're going to do everything you can to make that person happy.
Absolutely.
This,
Exactly.
this, you asked the question earlier, what's the difference between love and in love?
Mm-hmm.
I love you because you my brothers and sisters. But I'm not in love with you because God didn't give you me, or Yeah, God didn't give me you for a helpmate. So
Right.
when I'm in love with somebody, that's personal. That is it's just like when you make God your personal savior. That's a personal relationship. When
Right.
you somebody to be your spouse, that's a whole different relationship from your friends. That's a personal relationship. You know, that's
Right.
something to go through on a daily base. And every day you wake up saying, I can't change nothing about what I did yesterday. And tomorrow ain't promised. But
Right.
I got 24 hours to be the best person that I can be.
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah, yeah, we all have dreams. We all have things we want to accomplish. But the day my wife died, I thought she was gonna wake up.
Mm-hmm.
No, I had plans on what we was gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
But God's way is not our way. My mom and my wife both died of breast cancer,
Mm.
and I lost my daughter 2 weeks ago. Now,
Mm.
see, if my daughter was the first one that I lost, I'd have been tore up from the floor up.
Mm.
But because I lost my mother, who was my best friend, and then I lost my wife, who was my best friend, it
Mm-hmm.
prepared me. My daughter was in a car accident, and for 2 months she was in a vegetarian state. And
Wow.
when I see her, she's moaning, and I'm asking the doctors, "Why you not giving her something for her pain?" And they said, "Well, we would if we knew where she was hurting."
Right.
And because they did not know, there was nothing they could do for her. My peace came when I got that phone call. You know, Mr. Harden, we hate to inform you, but your daughter has passed. Thank
Mm.
you, Jesus. She is not suffering
Right.
anymore. You
Mm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I found my joy. Yes, I miss my daughter. Yes, I love my daughter dearly. My daughter is gone, but she's not hurting anymore. She's home with her mama, she's home with her grandmother, and she's home with her savior. And
Mm.
that's good enough for me.
Absolutely.
Right. We send our condolences to you,
Yeah.
still,
Definitely.
and much love.
I'm going to step out of the box. I thank y'all for the opportunity. I
Thank
thank you for
you.
inviting me up in the box. I'm following you. I'm glad I found your room, and you are a blessing to me. Have a nice
Thank you, Mr. Sid.
We appreciate
day.
you. And we'll definitely follow you back when we get off. But we really appreciate you. Really gave us, like, a lot of people in the comments were saying how much knowledge you dropped tonight, and just your story, your itself is definitely encouragement. So we appreciate you.
Yeah. Definitely.
And I thank you both, and I thank the room for the opportunity to come into the box. And I'm be praying for all of you, brother. You're gonna feel better tomorrow. I claim that in the name of Jesus right now.
I'm
You know,
claiming right
We
now.
receive
I
it.
appreciate that. Thank you so much.
I'm I know the power of prayer.
Yeah.
And the Bible says if two or three come together, well, hello, one, two, and three,
Yeah.
and we come together in His name.
Appreciate
And brother, we claiming victory right now for you in the name of Jesus. Tomorrow, your day is gonna be great. Your wife gonna be
it.
looking like, bro, you skipping down the street today. Right now, in the name.
Yeah, I
Appreciate
definitely
that.
appreciate it.
God bless you. I love y'all, and thank you again for the opportunity to come up.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Sid.
We
It was
love you.
nice
Appreciate it,
meeting
man.
you.
Thank you so much.
So, you got anything else to say before we hop off?
Oh, that's it, man. Just make sure y'all tune in next week. We love y'all. We appreciate everybody who tuned in, all the likes, all the comments, all the interactions. We love y'all.
Oh,
Y'all keep it up,
February.
and it's gonna keep getting better and better.